Hi, welcome to the Monocle virtual video. We're doing this video shoot for the benefit of those who cannot walk in the Trilogy Trek-a-Thon for whatever reason. Right up ahead is the entrance to the tennis court trail, and you'll see the usual bollards here, those posts that are white, and that marks our trailheads throughout Trilogy. And so we're going to go right down there toward the distant picnic benches. We're going to be walking down this trail, part of the tennis court trail, and heading toward the picnic benches down a ways. Here's an example of how not to cut a tree. You can see lots of suckers coming out from it, and it's not very beautiful in this area. Here is one of over 50 grid markers, grid locators that are throughout the trails here at Trilogy. And if you had an accident or a health problem and you dialed 911 and told them you were at P5, they'd be over here quickly with their emergency medical equipment and help you out. Tennis Court Trail is one of the few trails here at Trilogy that has a light with it. As we come up closer to an opening in the woods or a bend in the trail, we begin to see on the right something that looks like a tent or part of a tent. Now that we're up here by that tent-like structure, we see the tennis courts on the left. We see that this big tent encloses a tractor, Kubota tractor, that the Forest Stewardship uses in several ways. One way being to load gravel, and the other one, major one that they use it for, is for mowing like a big field or a fire break. Moving along on the gravel trail that the Forest Stewardship Committee has provided for us. Today is March 31st, but if you were on this trail in the summertime, you'd likely come across some nice patches of foxgloves, beautiful plants. Beautiful, but don't eat them because they're highly toxic. This trail is also noted in the summer, a little later after the foxgloves have died down, come the fireweed along here. And the fireweed is so named because whenever there's a forest fire, fireweeds are the first weeds to come back. Here was a low, muddy spot that's been built up by use of gravel and logs along the side because it was once a very wet and soggy, muddy place. Very soon we see another turnpike. We'll be making a turn left at the next intersection, which is right up near that bright area right before you get to that bright area. Here's the intersection. We are going to go left here. Well, if you took the right trail, it would cross the golf cart path and very soon come to another trail called Kerrys Bog Trail. This little trail connects us to a bridge up ahead. You'll see the caution sign, slippery when wet. Long ago, Forest Stewardship Committee built this bridge, and then more recently, an Eagle Scout proposed putting a metal grid over this bridge to keep people from slipping, and he carried that out, so it's very safe now. Just beyond the bridge is a little more dirt trail ahead. We come to a big tree fall, and you can see where that has been cut back from crossing the trail. Here the dirt trail comes into a very rooty place, so one needs to watch your step walking through here. As the trail comes out of here, you can begin to hear the sounds of pickleball hitting rackets and the court. To exit out of this area and pick up a graveled trail which goes around the outside of the pickleball courts. Here we go left around the outside of the pickleball court. Back of the pickleball courts, we see the golf course putting green, and I believe they also do pitching toward where the camera is. To the back far corner, we'll take a left turn and pick up this golf cart path. Before leaving this area, we see a very interesting and nicely landscaped stump that they deliberately left here for decoration. And then in the background, a storage shed for pickleball players. The asphalt trail bends around to the right. Just a wetland area, part of the wetland. Trail bends around behind the tennis courts. The building is a storeroom on this side, and on the opposite side, restrooms. And then we see the children's play area here with swings and jungle gym and a lot of fun things. We see a couple of horseshoe pits in the foreground, and in the background, a couple of bocce courts. And we'll get close up horseshoe pits, bocce courts, heading up to the end of the trail before we make a left turn. And there's the picnic tables. We go left here. The trail here parallels this beautiful croquet court. Right behind this bollard, we have the end of the loop trail back at the service entrance. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. And don't forget, you can also look at the spectacles